Hello everyone and welcome to this ERP Next tutorial, another one brought to you by Bantu Accounting from Zambia. As usual, my name is Patrick and I'm glad that you decided to join me today. In this lesson, we'll be covering supplier quotations, which is a build-up from the previous video. If you have anything that you would like to see, right, anything that you think we missed out, if you have any questions or contributions, please hit us up in the comment section. We can have a little chat in there. This way we can find out what you need and then see how we can include that in future lessons. Today's lesson builds on the request for quotation lesson. We do this by taking a look at supplier quotations. If you haven't seen the request for quotations video, you might feel a little bit behind. So please feel free to pause this one here, go back and watch that one first, and then come back. Today, we will see how to create one document from within another. Instead of the usual way we've been doing it, where we first go to the respective list, today we will explore a shortcut that should make things faster and even easier still, as this method would copy some of the information we provide in one document and use it to pre-fill another. So to get a grasp on how this works, we will first need to refer to the buying process, which is what you're seeing on your screen right now. This process was also referred to in the very first video in this series, which was the material request video. As you can see, the first thing is a material request. Number 2 is a request for quotations. Number 3, where we are right now, is a supplier quotation. So we will be creating the supplier quotation, which is at number 3, from number 2, which is the request for quotation. After supplier quotations, the next video will cover purchase order, and then the last one, purchase invoice. So imagine that you could create request for quotations from within the material request document without first having to go to the request for quotations list, right? This would fetch the relevant information from document 1 and use it to pre-fill some of the fields in document 2, which makes things easier and quicker for us. And then after that, you could also create a supplier quotation from within the request for quotation document, and so on and so forth. This is the approach that we will take in this lesson. The idea is every document can be created from within the document that comes before it in the buying process. Easy, right? Alright, let's get started and see how this works. Okay, so what we want to do is to create a supplier quotation for a supplier by the name of BB Farms. We will first go to the request for quotation that we sent to this supplier. To locate that request for quotation, we can go to the request for quotations list or search for it using the awesome bar at the top here, which I call an awesome search, right? So once we get to the list, we look for the request for quotation and open it up. In my case here, it is the one at the very top of the list. Your case might be different. You might have hundreds or even thousands of records to search through. So you might need to make use of these filters at the top here. These filters allow you to slice through whatever list or report you're looking at. Perhaps we should do a dedicated video for these filters in the future to break down how they work. Okay, so once we open up the correct request for quotation, we will see a create button at the top right over here. If you can't see it, maybe your document is still in draft mode and you need to submit it. Once you submit, this blue button saying create will show up. When we click it, it gives us options of what documents we can create from within this document. Also, take note that this list we see here will be different in different documents. It is a convenience tool after all, right? So in each document, we'll have the most relevant shortcuts up here. In our case, we see supplier quotation over here. But if we can't find it on the create button here, we can look under the connection section of the main document. As you can see, we have it over here again. In other documents like the employee document, you will find a whole lot of shortcuts under the connections section. However, we only have one here. I'm sure you guys can guess why this is different for each document. What do you say we have a chat about it in our comment section? We see what you guys think. However, to create a new supplier quotation, for example, we can click the supplier quotation on our create button up here. After we do this, you will see that the system will ask you for which supplier you want to create the supplier quotation for. So I will say I want to create the quotation for BB Farms and click here, and then after this I will say create. Doing this will create my supplier quotation. There you go. And then you will also notice that this quotation already has the major fields filled in. This information is taken from the request for quotation. It's just been copied and pasted here. So a very handy tool, right? Makes our work a whole lot easier. From here, we can just fill in the information that is not already filled in. Like if between the request for quotation and this supplier quotation, perhaps there was a change in prices and quantities due to negotiations, we can make those changes over here, and then we can make any other changes that we need. Once all that is done and we're confident that the information is correct, we can save the document and submit it, and we're done. We're good to go. I hope you found this video very helpful. Once again, we have come to the end of our lesson. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Enjoy your day, and don't forget to join our discussion on why the shortcuts are different from one document to another. Thank you very much.